Here used to be a Boulders bookshop. Now throughout Australia, 26 Boulders bookshops has closed. What's happened to the book retail market?
It seems to be declining, at least in the physical presence, and that's probably due to the obviously the internet and the convenience and Kindles and so forth. Plus, of course, there's the strong Australian dollar, which makes purchasing from international online booksellers such as Amazon much cheaper.
Not only big stores are feeling the impact, some online sellers are struggling as well.
My family and I started the Australian Online Bookshop back in 1995. At that time, it was the first actual full online bookshop in Australia. When we first started up, we competed very well with Amazon, and that was because the Australian dollar was low and postage costs from overseas were high, so it was always cheaper for people to buy in Australia than it was to buy overseas. This is our warehouse. I actually do a lot of my work, or almost all of my work at home, working in the home office.
They do anything to do with the computers. I don't touch the computers. I have two people who help me with the wrapping, and I can do it anytime I like. I can come along on the weekend and do some work, or I can do it in the afternoons, or I can do it in the morning, and then if we want to do something in the middle of the day, we can go off and do it, and because we know that we're going to come back later and finish off the job. We don't have a 9 to 5 sort of situation or anything like that. There's only one drawback there. If I want to buy a book, I like to be able to actually touch it and hold it. And with internet books you can't do that, but my husband goes to a lot of trouble to write the blurb up and show the illustrations and describe the book so that, you almost feel as though you're actually touching it. We used to have lots of orders come from Japan, from schools in Japan. Great big, and I'd said several boxes. This was before the dollar went up.
I think that there are a lot of pressures on the book industry generally at this time. And yes, there is a lot more competition than there was. And the big overseas online bookstores are probably taking a lot of Australian business away.
It's gone down since the economy dropped. Sometimes we can have just so many, and other days we'll have very few.
So what we're doing now is launching an e-book store, which we hope to have going in the next couple of months. We've been working on the e-books for a while now. Probably we've been looking at e-books as a possibility for years, and I think that's one of the big problems that is the case with e-books now, is that a lot of people are buying them from overseas. So as with physical books, they don't sell many Australian books. What we want to do is to hook into having e-books of Australian titles.
I think WA readers are starting to notice this e-book revolution.
E-books have been a really big part of the global publishing market for at least 10 years. When we noticed what was happening in the international market, especially in the US, the e-book market in the US just took off some years ago. Australia followed pretty quickly in the footsteps of that.
The plan is to be able to, once we publish a print book, to have an equivalent e-book available for people who want the choice. I think that's really what the e-books are. It's not necessarily one's going to overtake the other.
There is an increase in how many people are buying e-books. In Australia particularly, it's been a really sharp rise. But most people I speak to, at least, they still love a hard copy book.
I think e-books and Kindles are absolutely fantastic and get more people reading, but I still think there's a role for the hard copy book.
Jing Jing Zhang for Undercurrent.